Let's see.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it says on here. Just start recording on desktop and tap start recording on the mobile, but we're using laptop, so...
Okay, it's recording right now. Alright. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lunar's Q&A with special guest called Jake. How you spell your last name? How you say your last name?
Jake Bochenek.
Bochenek, yeah. Sorry, So, here's a quick question for you. Why did you want to play Sonic and Knuckles on my show?
Well, honestly, since even though I'm trying to get my foot in the door with voice acting related projects, Sonic as a whole has pretty much been one of the biggest things that has been dear to my heart ever since I was a child, and special thanks to an old friend from middle school. She actually got me back into it because she was into it herself. And let's just say when I started with Sonic game-wise, it was with Adventure 1 and had a lot of fun with it, but then as soon as Shadow the Hedgehog came into the picture, I just dropped everything up until Generations came around. And yeah, just looking for auditions the best I can, even if they're things that I'm familiar with. And I also like the characters of Sonic and Knuckles as well as Shadow. But yeah, just that.
So those are your favorite characters from the Sonic franchise, right?
Top 3, yes.
Top 3. Yeah. Now, what made you want to be a voice actor?
Well, again, it really goes back to my old friend, but it actually is from this one stage in life where I was unsure of what to do career-wise, and even though I do have a degree in interactive media, which is basic filmmaking and graphic design stuff, I tried getting my foot in the door with positions for that kind of thing, but the closest things I've gotten to were 2 internships, one of which was actually needed to help me graduate. And so I was actually thinking back to my teenage self back when I was huge into anime, and I mean like really, really huge, thanks to Naruto. And so
yeah,
I thought...
I was a big fan of anime when I was into Naruto too, sorry.
Yeah, and so I thought to myself, well, why don't I try to become a voice actor? And so I've searched high and searched low for the do's and don'ts on what to do as a voice actor. And even though I've only had 2 classes worth of acting experience in high school, as well as a drama club in the 6th grade, it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride. And I think once given proper direction, I think I can nail a performance as long as I'm given what kind of lines are supposed to be delivered properly. And also, my friend is doing it herself, and yeah.
Yeah, directing isn't easy also. I've learned it's been a hard ride. But I'm working through it. So, have you ever sent a demo reel to any big production company like, I don't know, Disney or something?
Well, again, as I was going back to the whole roller coaster thing, because on castingcall.club, where I send my auditions at, you don't know if the project is either gonna be in the works, definitely gonna be delivered properly, canceled, or just unknown. And by unknown, I mean like not knowing what updates there are. And so, even though it's a bit of a slow process, I think as long as I get as many original roles down as possible, I am thinking about creating a demo reel then, but at the moment, since I do fan projects as Sonic, Knuckles, Shadow, Vector, and a few others, as long as the projects are with original dialogue and original animation, if possible, then I don't know if that's possible to add on a demo reel, but if it isn't, then I'm definitely going to have to bring my A game research-wise. But
Right.
if I were to get a demo reel completed and on the spot, then I would definitely send it to as many people as possible. But I also heard getting an agent is very important for those wanting to get into voice acting. So, yeah.
So, about your cosplaying, what was the hardest costume you ever made?
Oh, the cosplays that I've made? Well, it's actually a hard one to think about because I've actually worked on a lot of hard cosplays throughout my 8 years of working on this hobby. Again, special thanks to you know who. But if I were to pick a few, then it would have to be my Optimus Prime Mark II, which I wore for the 30th anniversary of Transformers back in 2014, and a lot of people loved that one. And I also worked on Kamen Rider Gaimu Kachidoki Yams. Kamen Rider Gaim. It's a very nice design, but because of how the Shogun motif of the armor is very complicated, it was pretty hard to assemble. And then, of course, there was the one that actually got me to win a Masters trophy, and that would be Kamen Rider Drive. And honestly, I wasn't expecting that to get me a Masters trophy. So,
Now, how did you feel when you got the Masters trophy?
oh, you want to see it?
Sure.
All right, but I will warn you, some of you guys might laugh at this, but this was literally given to me right on stage. I'll be right back in about 10 seconds.
All right.
All right, here it is.
Oh, wow. JampCon?
Yep, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Hmm.
And it was also my first out-of-state anime con. Not my first out-of-state con in general, but in regards to anime, yes.
Yeah, I usually go to cons in New York because that's where I can only travel.
Yeah, I still have yet to go to a New York con of some sort.
They're fun. Let me see what other questions I got. Okay, here's one. Where do you get your stuff for cosplaying?
Well, I actually shop at a plethora of places. Like, for Kamen Riders, we all know they wear clunky belts around their waists, so those I pretty much buy online at places like eBay, Amazon, CS Toys, what have you, since they're tokusatsu related. But in regards to, like, making the armor, I usually just buy it off of places like Walmart, only at their art section, because even though Walmart is a pretty iffy place to shop at, but when it comes to arts and crafts, their selection is actually pretty reasonable and definitely well worth it. And I also do Michael's and Joann's and just pretty much anywhere else I could think of that's possible.
Yeah, for my first cosplay, I was going as Jean Arc from Ruby, and most of my stuff I got from Michaels. So yeah,
I still have yet to watch Ruby.
yeah. Now, which do you like better, voice acting or cosplaying?
The
Tough
words
one.
of Jotaro Kujo, yada yada does it. Which means good grief in Japanese, at least according to the subs on Crunchyroll. But to be honest, both do have their strengths and their weaknesses. And I say their strengths because they're actually people who are interested in wanting to know who you are and what you do. And if they like your work, then they'll support you. And that's definitely a big plus. But then there are also some negatives in life that we have to go through, like, I don't know, maybe say, I don't know, a glass window on your car just broke and you have to fix it. sometimes there will be some minor bad things, but for the most part, from my experience, I think both definitely have their pluses and minuses. But if I had to choose one, I'd probably have to go for voice acting. Because for cosplay, again, even though I've been doing it for 8 years in a row, I feel like it's just something that I've been used to doing as a hobby, and I'm doing the voice acting thing as a hobby, so to speak. And it's just the one thing that I'm really gonna need to do career-wise if a lot of people are gonna be closing doors on me. And I know, much like an audition, it takes a lot of time and patience to actually see if people want you to do the audition. I mean, if they don't like your performance, then don't let it get you down, and just keep searching the best you can.
Hmm. Now, what other voices do you do besides the Sonic characters?
Well, like original voices or other character voices, not from Sonic.
Um, any, I guess. Can you give us an example?
Is mayonnaise an instrument? No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument. Horseradish is not an instrument either. But yeah, my voice range, from my experience, I've actually taken a choir class in high school for 1 year and 1 year only. And I think I was either a bass or a baritone, I really don't remember. But given my current voice box, it's actually hard to decipher whether if I want to just stick to deep voiced characters like Knuckles, for example, because unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. Or if I just want to do the high pitched things like Sonic, like, oh yeah, this is happening. So it's really hard to get a high pitched character down just like that. But
Yeah, and well, for example, I do like a high pitched Bill Cipher voice, like, "Oh my, Gravity Falls, it is good to be back."
this is
Yeah,
definitely a good thing.
yeah, I have to use like audio tuning to get the right pitch. So
Yeah, I can also do some monstrous voices, but not too monstrous, if that makes any sense. Like,
yeah,
will you come to dinner?
nice. Now, let's see. What do you usually do for YouTube?
Well, for YouTube, I've actually had quite the history of YouTube on multiple channels, though. Sadly, two of them are no longer around because of copyright reasons, way before it became controversial back in 2013 with all the BS about false companies putting in false claims on certain videos, even if
Yeah,
they're heavily edited and with people in the background via green screen. But I first started out with slideshows of anime and Transformers, followed by stop motion Transformers videos. And I also made a few AMVs back then, but then I also decided to do some toy reviews based off of Transformers back then. And then when I went into college, I pretty much just worked on whatever assignments my professors wanted me to work on. And for one of them, it was actually a tutorial on how to make a helmet out of cardboard and masking tape. Because when I first started cosplay, I pretty much just was using cardboard, but then eventually I found out a way on how to use EVA foam, special thanks to Evil Ted on YouTube. And luckily, I was the only one in the class to get the highest grade, and that was a final assignment for that class alone. And right now, I think it's got like 90,000 views, but if you just type my name on the search bar, then you'll probably see it. But nowadays, it's pretty dated at best, given the materials that I work on now. But for my current channel, well, that's not related to college. So far, the only ones that I are my overview of my Kamen Rider Drive cosplay, and pretty soon I'm actually thinking about doing a recommend for the company's actual existence in Japan, anyway. But I do have the gameplay footage recorded for that at least, but I still have yet to do the editing and double check the script to make sure I get my points across. Actually shoot the footage, edit it, and see how things go from there. So pretty soon I'm thinking about doing some more voice acting as well as gaming, but also do a few cosplay stuff. But I think given how toxic the community has gotten, but I know it doesn't apply to every single member in the community, I am thinking about dropping cosplay around 2020-ish, just so, again, I can pursue my hopefully successful path of becoming a voice actor in the future.
Yeah, that's... And, well, this is a personal question, but I tell everybody. What advice would you give to a voice actor or an actor or someone that wants to be an actor?
Well, even though I'm just a rookie, so to speak, the only best advice I could give anyone wanting to get into voice acting would be, if it's something you really want to do, then go educate yourself and do all the research you can, save enough money for the necessary equipment. And like I mentioned a few minutes ago, if you audition for something and if people don't like it, then don't feel down about it. Just go to another audition and see how things go from there. And that's pretty much all I could say. Just take as much time as you want and go educate yourself and put your life on the line for this. Just like how I am.
Now, it's your turn to ask me a question.
All right. What is your name?
No, I mean, like any questions on me personally, my directing, or my YouTube channel, or...
Oh, right. Sorry. I've never done this before in an interview. Even if it's
I know, I'm doing something different. I ask 10 questions and they can ask me one back. I'm trying to spice up the interviewing thing, and it works.
All right. So, what actually got you started at doing some directing?
Well, I didn't get into it until I went to college. That's where I met my co-director Adrian, and he introduced me to this animation director named John Stocker, who was the director of Sailor Moon. And
Really?
yeah, and he gave me advice on how to be a good animation director when I started out, and the rest is animation history.
Even though I didn't grow up with Sailor Moon, I'm definitely surprised someone who worked on that show actually gave you some advice.
Yeah, he was such a nice guy, and I hope one day I'll see him again, tell him how I'm doing with my career as a director, and hopefully he'll approve on our show.
All right. What are some advantages and disadvantages of being a director?
Well, one advantage is that you can make whatever the hell you want. if when you're starting out, you can make any direction, make any written scripts, make any sound editing, any way you want it. It's the disadvantage is finding people. Yeah,
Well, you found me, or I
yeah,
found you, or whatever.
well, I tried finding many different people for this. I tried YouTube, Discord, Casting Call Club, and that's where I found you. And I just need help finding either an animator or someone that can teach me how to animate. So hopefully I'll find one someday.
Yeah, I hope that does come through sometime soon.
Yeah.
But what would you say was, or how exactly did you get into Sonic?
I think my first Sonic game was Sonic Rush Advance, or maybe it was Sonic and the Secret Rings, and then I kept getting Sonic games from Oogie Games or GameStop, and I changed the channel a couple times to watch Sonic X, and I guess I just really like the character so much that I want to make up stories about him.
That's nice. Though, I hope you didn't die a whole lot in Sonic and the Secret Rings.
Oh, I died plenty of times.
About as much as Kenny, I assume.
Yeah.
But, what other questions should I ask?
Well, you don't have to ask me a lot. You could just ask me like one or two.
Okay. For those wanting to become a director, what kind of advice you would give them?
First, try everything out yourself. And if you can't do it, know someone that does. And hopefully you'll make friends with those people. And let's see what else. Try your best at what you can do. And if you want to make a show about anything, make a show about anything.
Interesting.
Yeah,
But, yeah, that's also good advice.
thanks.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Now, one more question. Is Moana your favorite movie?
Is what my favorite movie?
Moana,
Oh, well, it's not my favorite, but I do enjoy it whenever I get the chance to watch it. And just because of what Dwayne's saying in that one movie, I always reference it to a lot of people. Coworkers, friends, family, doesn't matter. Whether if I'm just singing that part of the lyrics or if I'm just normally talking like how I just did a few seconds ago. But, yeah, I like Moana, but my favorite is actually Spirited Away. And outside of the fact that it's the only anime film to actually win an Academy Award for Best Animated Picture, so far anyway, I actually love the story, the characters, the visuals, the OST or original soundtrack, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful movie. But for those that haven't seen it, definitely watch it when you can. Show Studio Ghibli where the money is at!
Okay, thank you for doing this interview with me, and hopefully I wish you luck in your voice acting career.
Alright, thank you, and I wish the same to you for your directing career.
Thanks. This is Lunar Knight signing off.
And this is Jake Bochenek, aka Soutou Excite, signing out as well.